It's a cloudy day here at Nigel Phillip, the home of the Churchill Bulldogs, as we give you the best of high school rugby that Zimbabwe has to offer. And this is the host Churchill will be squaring off against Allan, also known as Sables. Right now on the field of play are the second teams. Setting up incidents of match day. It's a cloudy day here at Nigel Phillip, the home of the Churchill Bulldogs, as we give you the best of high school rugby that Zimbabwe has to offer. And it is the host, Churchill will be squaring off against Allan, also known as the Sables. And right now on the field of play are the second teams. Setting up the precedence of the match day. You match day, Chiwe. You match day, Chiwe. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do you. It's a cloudy day here at Nigel Phillip, the home of the Churchill Bulldogs, as we give you the best of high school rugby that Zimbabwe has to offer. This is the host Churchill will be squaring off against Allan, also known as the Sables. And right now on the field of play, our second teams clashing, setting up the president of match day. As you see their teams running onto the tunnel. The second team of Allan wearing their traditional red and black colors. As you see there on the right side of the field. Oh my goodness. I have to start again. It's a cloudy day here at Nigel Phillip, the home of the Churchill Bulldogs, as we give you the best of high school rugby that Zimbabwe has to offer. And it is the host Churchill will be squaring off against Allan, also known as the Sables. Right now on the field of play are the second teams clashing, setting up the precedence of match day. As we see there on the left side of the field are the second team of Allan wearing their traditional red and black colors. And on my right side it is Churchill's second team who are wearing their traditional purple and black jerseys. As you see the teams just going through their match day routines. You can hear a little bit of war cries. And before that, it was by prayer from both teams. As we wait for the Churchill second team for the kickoff.
Yes, the kicker.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you that you're watching All Schools Media. And there goes the whistle. And it is a little bit of confusion from the Allan but they managed to retrieve the ball as they look to spread it out. A good catch ball there by the flanker. Unfortunately, he loses the ball in contact. So it is Churchill's second team with possession. A little bit of loose passes. You can tell that these teams are a little bit nervous, but it is okay because it is still early days, and obviously from both teams they'll be looking forward to get a W from this encounter. Like what I've said before, this will set the match day precedence. We all know that a good carry there from the forward of Churchill. Another crash ball. And it is Churchill's second team. And they've won themselves a penalty. And Allan player, they failing to roll away. It's another crash ball. Churchill looking forward to spread that ball out wide. And unfortunately, ball is lost there. But the referee says play on. And another handling error there from the Churchill second team. And it is the Allan Wilson who still have possession. And a good leg drive there from the little man. And it still is Allan Wilson, and finally the referee says, let's go back to that knock-on. It's going to be a second team Allan Wilson scrum. You can tell that, you know, the crowd is slowly building up. And I promise you that we are going to have a big crowd come the Sables Allan Wilson first team. We will be looking forward to pick themselves from the dust. Remember, last week they lost against the Prince Edward Tigers. Not only, looks like a bit of a high tackle, but the referee says play on. It is still Churchill second team. Good ball handling skills there. The scrum half is looking forward to organize his team. Here comes the big number 1, showing a little bit of good ball handling skills. They've managed to get some acres. That is diving on the rack, and the referee's arm is out. But it is Churchill with numbers on the right side of the field. They're still deciding to attack blind via their 8th man. Churchill slowly building pressure. And here comes their number 1, showing a little bit of ball handling skills, and it is a try. Great passage of play there by Churchill. So extras to come on. This should be a straightforward conversion. But great passage of play there by the Churchill second team, showing composure, and those extras come in handy. And currently it is the second team of Churchill are leading by 7 points to 0. But it is early days because we are just inside 10 minutes of play. You can tell by the body language of the Allan Wilson second team that they want to have a go again, try to score points of their own. It is school's pride at stake. So there we go. A good clearance kick coming in from Churchill. And it is the Allan Wilson, number 21, who comes away with it. And another kick. And it lands straight into that strong boy, the 8th man, who breaks off 3 tackles. And he wins himself a penalty. And the referee stops play. So we're going to come back for the long arm penalty to Churchill second team. And the flyer finds touch right in on their 5-meter. Line out to Churchill second team. Rather, he couldn't find his touch. So it's going to be a 22-meter drop kick. By Allan Wilson second team, escaping by the skin of their teeth there, currently trailing by 7 points to 0. And it's going to be the scrum half who's going to be doing that drop kick. Not so convincing as that ball lands into the prop's hand. A little bit of miss pass. Still is Churchill organizing themselves. And the referee says forward pass. Allan's second team, they're out of the jail card. It's going to be a scrum. So far it is this Churchill second team who are currently dominating. We are yet to see the best of the Allan second team. We've been under pressure right from the kickoff. And on the far left side of the field, you can see the Bulldogs there marking their territory. The Churchill first team just marking their territory. So Allan win themselves a scrum. So let's get straight into the trivia, getting to know how these teams, what they have done over the years. So we look at the visiting team, Allan. They've taken Taylor, a former under-16s player who represented Allan at under-16s, but later on, he decided to move across the fence and he joined Prince Edward Tigers, where he went on to represent Zimbabwe at under-18 Cravenwick, as well as Zimbabwe under-18 sevens team, and represented at some point Zimbabwe Sables, Taku Taylor, but he was an Allan player who just decided, I'm going to go across the fence and join the Prince Edward Tigers, as well as Ryan Msumi, current Zimbabwe Sevens player, and another player. And at some point, he decided to represent Kyle, but he featured in Zimbabwe's national team at the Cape Town Sevens Rugby World Cup, to mention a few. And we've got Antipas Kamkwindo, ex-Allan, but he decided later on to join Churchill, currently playing his rugby in Germany as a back rower, represented Zimbabwe under Peter de Villiers, the ex-Springbok coach. He also played with the likes of Linians Tambwerwa, who was the Zimbabwe under-20 national team player. That team, I remember, they won the Africa Cup, and he got a placement, a scholarship with the Sharks, and he ended up playing for Valky, a Currie Cup Division 1 team in South Africa. We played, you won't believe this, will Lucanio Am, the current Springbok outside center in the world right now. I know that I'm going to get a lot of backlash from that, but Lucanio Am played with Lilian Tambwerwa. At some point that they were sharing the same hostel. So Churchill also produced the likes of Norman Maroto, likes of Denford Mtangamira, who represented Zimbabwe Sables. He went on to play his professional rugby in Scotland, and the likes of Shingi Mpofu, ex-Sables captain, played for the national team, and he won the Africa Cup Championship back in 2012. The likes of Daniel Hondo, they've played in this same field, featuring for Churchill Bulldogs, not to forget Tendai Mtawarira, arguably one of the best props that we've seen in our generation, a World Cup winner back in 2019 with South Africa. And recently, ladies and gentlemen, you won't believe this, Tinotenda Blythe Mavesere
Army still is out. He will be signaling. The man penalty still is Churchill. They've got an advantage. Pressure on the breakdown. Despite defending coming in from Allan for second team.
Go. And it is Churchill's second team deciding to go blind using their big forwards and a big carry. Another great tackle. Good pressure coming in from Allan Wilson. But what are they going to do? Is there a follow-through plan? Acres of space on that left side of the field as they use their big prop. Poor body positioning, but he managed to sack 4 players from Allan Wilson. And the referee says penalty. What are they going to do? Decision making. It will be important, and I believe it is a great call as they decide to kick for post. So they'll be looking forward to pile more misery to Allan Wilson's second team. If this kick is successful, they'll take the host to 17 points to deal. So far their kicker has managed to kick successfully. 2 out of 2 with the third goal kick pending, and the kick is successful. That takes the host team to 17 points to deal. So we are going to go for a drinks break. When we come back, we'll give you the second half right here on All Schools Media.
Commentator one pan. Yeah. Magawandis anu 3 pabasa 1. Ya magawandis. Ya magawandis 3 pabasa 1. Ayo imbo yeo 1. Titorwa zatupita tiri 7. Zoda mun 1. Zoda mun 1. Zoda mun 1.
So welcome back to the second half. Remember, we are watching All Schools Media, and it is the second team of Churchill and Allan Wilson. And currently, it is the Churchill second team who are leading by 17 points to nil. And earlier on, during the halftime team talk, Matake was relaxed. He had a few words with his boys. You could tell that he was pretty happy, except for a few times that his team has squandered opportunities. But for Allan Wilson, coach is not happy, and that discussion went on forever. And it is Churchill who trying to play themselves out of danger, but that tackle. But however, the referee says play on, as they try to use the props. And a good kick coming in from Churchill. Second team, a little bit of stepping. Allan Wilson playing that Fijian type of rugby, offloading in tackles. Working for them so far. But are they going to come back? That's the question. Trailing 17 points against this composed Churchill second team. And obviously these boys, majority of them, they'll be eyeing for that Churchill Bulldogs jersey. So they'll be looking forward to impress Jeff Matake. So another loose pass coming in from Allan Wilson. Ooh, big collusion coming there from the big boys. Pressure on the breakdown. And Churchill managed to win themselves precious possession there. You can tell clearly that he didn't show daylight, and the hands in the rack. So he's still holding on to possession. It is a long arm penalty. If he's not careful, the referee will go straight into his pocket. But however, it is Churchill, second team still playing advantage. Fancy backline move there. And here comes that big boy, the prop. Loses possession, but we are going to come back for that penalty. So what are they going to do this time around? So boys going straight to boot. Is that the kicker for Churchill second team, as he find his touch. It was a great kick. Allan Wilson's second team was under pressure right from the kickoff, and they're yet to relieve that pressure. They're yet to get points on the board. And looks like this second team of Churchill is not going to stop. Great line out take as they play off the scrum half directly straight into that big boy who sucks in 7 players from Allan Wilson. But there are players on the ground for during that passage of play. There isn't much that they can do. Is to secure position and to kick for touch. So the line out is and Once team here, a Churchill attacking line out. And unfortunately, that throw wasn't in straight. It's going to be another Allan Wilson defensive scrum. They're still in their half, ladies and gentlemen. You only saw them once crossing the 22 of Churchill in that broken play. Pressure coming in from Allan Wilson, but they've managed to win themselves possession. Pressure on the breakdown. What is going to be the cause, ref? And it's going to be the Churchill second team who have won themselves possession on the breakdown. And a box kick. The fullback is under pressure and the ball bounces out, and the ref is going to come back for that long arm penalty for holding on. Churchill second team also being guilty of making a few errors there. They haven't scored in this second half. So it is a quick tap as the scrummer finds the forwards, and it is a +1 pass, breaking a few tackles and a quick ball, and there are numbers on the left side of the field. Another handling error there, forward pass. Churchill second team players losing concentration. So it is a Churchill, it's a try. Churchill scoring their first try in this second half. So that should be done and dusted. Final nail to the coffin. Allan Wilson, I don't see them coming back from this one. You can't defend forever. You also need to attack. Extras to come on. So as it stands, it is 22 points to 0 in favor of the home team, with extras to come on. And that number 10 from Churchill, his kicking has been impressive so far, but he has an angle to work with. What is he going to do? There's a little bit of wind. Unlucky there. Unlucky. So 22-0 in favor of the host. Allan Wilson slowly walking to that kickoff. You can tell that they're a little bit disappointed, and that kickoff is short, so it's going to be a scrum. Scrum to Churchill. Obviously, they'll be looking forward to power more misery to the visiting team. And it is purple jersey that is shining brighter today than that red and black jersey. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, up next, it is going to be the Sables, Allan Wilson, the visiting team, taking on the Churchill Bulldogs, one of the best teams, rugby teams in Zimbabwe. as far as high school rugby is concerned. But here comes that tricky winger for Churchill. What are they going to do this time around? Playing from touchline to touchline. The ground. +1, the ball travels backwards. 2-on-1 situation. That inside center decides to cut back. Pressure on the breakdown. And the referee says, rather, a get out of the jail card for Allan Wilson. Just winning themselves a penalty on the breakdown. The first that we've seen today in favor of Allan Wilson. Lengthy discussions happening. They decide to kick for touch. Oh, and it is a poor kick. It is the poor kick. Oh, another handling error. A knock on. Goodness me. It is a scrum. So once again, Allan Wilson being lucky there. That fullback from Churchill, who has been exceptional today, just losing concentration. Missing an opportunity for a counter-attack. Second scrum reset of the day. It has been a grueling encounter, despite what the scoreboard says. But in my strongest opinion, I believe that both teams, when it comes to physicality, they were almost 50-50. But however, the scoreboard does not reflect so. Pressure coming on the breakdown. So penalty for Churchill. That fly off kicks for touch, and that ball travels more than 20 meters. Both teams, they look a little bit tired. You can tell that they are walking. That energy level has just dropped significantly. A good line out from Churchill. Good ball handling skills. Lovely rugby. What? The winger cuts back inside. Offload. Another offload. Poor decision making, boys. There was space on the outside. Pressure building for Churchill. Hard running. Quick ball. And it is the number 8 who sucks in 4 players on the breakdown. Numbers. It is 8-on-1. Hands. Easy try. So that takes Churchill's second team to 27 points to 0. But it was a great passage of play by Churchill's second team. Getting the basics right. Running at pace, getting that ball at pace. Using players, just the ball sticking onto hand. They could walk and score that try. Getting all the basics right. So that kick sucked a little bit of confusion there by the third judges rather. So that takes 27 points in favor of Churchill. And on the right side of the field, you can see the Allan Wilson first team, the Sables, getting through their passes there. Hopefully, with a win, playing for their school, playing for their schoolmates. And it is a good kickoff. Restart kick, rather. Ooh. And that tackle came in hard. But another good kick. As that fly off, that ball bounces back. And the inside setter. Ball sticks to hand. Ooh. Churchill second team come away with possession. And they it is still is Churchill. Here comes the open side flanker for Churchill. And Allan Wilson once again. Another mismatch. It's 4-on-1. 2-on-1. Just inside center decides to cut back inside. Oh. It is a knock-on. So it is going to be a change, rather in Allan Wilson scrum. We're likely to see the first substitute of the day for Churchill second team. Is that open side flanker, comes off, limping. For a player who's going to replace him wearing that number 24 jersey. I'm pretty sure that Madaki should be happy with these charges, or rather satisfied with these charges. They did a great job today. Look at that scrum. Yes, you are not allowed to push for more than 3 meters. So it is going to be a short arm penalty in favor of Allan Wilson. If they decide to keep that ball in play. Oh boy. It is a long day for this team in red and black. So there goes the final whistle, and it is the Churchill Bulldogs second team ripping off, tearing apart the Sables, the Allan Wilson, and it is camaraderie after the game. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you that soon after this, it is going to be the main match of the day, the Churchill Bulldogs taking on the Allan Wilson, the Sables, right here on Nigel Phillip. Let's go for a drinks break. When we come back, it is going to be the match day, the main match. Richard Nip, apana ba opa. Apana ba ndilipa pa ba Jo Philip ka pa chechu. Wazenda ze. All right, it's fine. Because I'll be doing commentary for Churchill ne Allan Wilson. So ndikutika unozo kwasa ndo na busy, but it's okay. No kwasa ku. All right, Irbo. If Aiwa, no. Aiwa, iPhone inchengeta ndani yangu. Kafoni kaimakisa ka.
Get serious.
Kaimakisa ka phone kake. Nto munhu pa une bepa. Oh, hanzi kamera inga iri mushoti.
Chipi. Shot glass.
Iwe chine mari wakambochuna chine munhu ere nyoko. Wakambochuna chine munhu. Hausikuriziva iri. But iri manje ka iri. Make sure man. Make sure boss.
Aroni.
Aone kuti type yeruchi. Yapasaita aone.
Aonekwa cha. Tinoonekwa. Iyo koko kune iyo. Uko ndiko iyo. Uko.
Masoka fields.
Bana pa ikunja kakura.
Achikakurisa. Mama soka fields aruka.
Oh. Ndakapedzera kuzviita mudhangere.
Kudogara uchingoita.
Unofana kugara uchita because brain dzako dzinomboti.
Space yevani munandina ngoma. Space yevani munandina ngoma. Ndinganyeza. Ndinganyeza. Kidonendi nandina. Kumbira kana uchegura
aina sana wana ningirigini
timu shiti ningirini ora chiyaninzo kwa
ayo ye dab ye ningindi nayo ye churu ndinayo
yechu
ndechechi
ndechechi
sapanda
ye dab
Zamara Danda requesta zvangu ingori follow up
inde Allan Wilson
aiwa ndiye chechi ingori follow up ndanombo request
ndoenda ikoko
aingori follow up chechi we are like Switzerland. Yeah. Hello guys. Captain, Allan Wilson. Captain. Who's the captain? Come. Captain. Koyunda dasi. Bizim kalenya. Aiwa ijinyanga sasa. Makafamba bore. Jamaa, makafamba boba ipo. Nice. Bachululo papone. Ngoba ngathi dabhuru kumina mina. Ayo. Uyama basketball coach era chije chikoro zvaiva komba icho chichirugo chikoro zvaiva ayo chikoro hakuna zita rinotaura manje toita sei saka zvoitwa sei
uchimbozoona zvafana zvazvinongokudza
but iwo kana ndotongotaura handitauri kuti chechi kana kutongotaura kuti ningiwe chechi pana
pautongoregwa uidedzera timu
udededzera zita yako imwe timu yacho
aiwa ine zvibari
ukatongoona zvibari Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again. You're watching All Schools Media as you await for arguably the biggest rugby encounter as far as high school is concerned. Today, it is the hosts, the Churchill Bulldogs, will be squaring off against a brave Sables. Who's going to emerge victorious, ladies and gentlemen? We have to find out because we are the match is about to start. As we see the long tunnels for both teams. On my left side of the field, it is Allan Wilson in their traditional red and black tracksuits. And on my right side, it is Churchill with that long tunnel. Very colorful, it's purple and gray, ladies and gentlemen. And on the far side of the field, it is the Churchill, the melodious Churchill pipe band, known all over the world, known all over the continent. Ladies and gentlemen, this is arguably the biggest rivalry in Zimbabwe. Churchill coming off a victory, and as of Allan Wilson, they lost their previous encounter against their bitter rivals, the guys that they share the boundary with, that is the Prince Edward Tigers. And as you can see there on the right side of the field, Churchill Bulldogs. Calm and collected. I would like to remind you that earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, the Churchill second team managed to win by 27 points to 0. As you see there, the rumbling sound is that Allan Wilson team runs onto the field. Obviously, at the back of their mind, they want to come up with a W. And there's the host team, Churchill, with swag, marching onto the field this time around. Remember, they are the hosts, so there's no need for them to rush. Everything else will stop. So there they are, marching in swag. Their traditional striped white and purple jersey, walking onto the field. They decided to do this in style. They are going to march on like saints, walking slowly onto the field. They know that they are in control, and the precedence of the day has already been set. The platform has been set by their second team. All they have to do is come on and finish off the job that has been done by some of the players who are knocking at the door. So obviously for them, the host team and the players will be playing for their school with pride. They just need not just to win, but to win in style. From the number 1 jersey up to the number 22 jersey, the last man on the bench, they'll be looking forward to impress their coach, Matake. Look at that, marching onto the field like kings, like saints. The nostalgia, ladies and gentlemen. I wish you were here today. You could cut the tension with the knife. And there is the experienced referee who will be taking care of all the match day proceedings, Mr. Walter. So they started off with their bench, they walked up with swag on the field of play, and there comes their first team players, or rather the first starting 15, just jogging. So you'll be expecting singing from both teams as far as their supporters is concerned. And here comes the Churchill Bar Band. Traditionally, they usually do their thing before their first team runs onto the field. As they march off, I'm pretty sure that if the Scottish pipe band see these youngsters doing their thing, obviously they are going to be moved. I would like to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that both teams, they have players or ex-players who are participating in the World Championships that are being hosted in Kenya right now. And on the Allan Wilson, we have Aglam Chenje, who's representing his national team at the World Championships, at the under-20 national team championships that are happening in Kenya. And unfortunately, we are yet to see a win for our beloved junior Sables. But however, getting an opportunity to represent your national team at under-20, facing the likes of Scotland, a Six Nations team that has been relegated to the Junior World Trophy, it shows that rugby is being developed even at high school level. Both teams are government teams with decent resources, but they don't have much resources as far as their colleagues. I'm talking about the ATS team, but they still play rugby with passion, and both coaches from both teams, experienced, qualified coaches. And obviously, this is where the development starts as far as rugby is concerned. And last minute instructions from coaches coming in. So we're just waiting for Walter, the experienced referee, to get us underway, with Allan Wilson starting with the kickoff via their number 9. I believe it is the captain. So Walter checks his watch and he said, it is time, ladies and gentlemen. So there goes the kickoff. It is long, and unfortunately, the play has to be stopped by the match commissioner. So we've been told just to wait a little bit. So match commissioner. So match has been stopped. So Walter intervening there. So we're yet to confirm what's happening, as Walter, the referee, the match day referee of the day, having a lengthy discussion with the gentleman who's on the touchline. We're yet to confirm who he is. So play resumes. We're just taking care of a few housekeeping issues there, but the match is still on, and it is Churchill who come away with possession. As they use their big forwards to crash over, and it does that big boy number 20 who gets hold up in the tackle and is pushed back. And Churchill starting off on a slow pace. They managed to get a few yards there. Still in control with possession. They use their forwards to crash over, but Allan Wilson holding their lines. A little bit of grabber. So Walter, the man who's in charge of this encounter, spots something. It is a long arm penalty to Churchill for tackling the man without the ball. And Churchill, they just call for a scrum. You can tell that they have the bigger of the boys as compared to their compatriots, Allan Wilson. Traditionally, Churchill has always had, big mobile forwards. School's tradition. And it is going to be a backline move if they manage to secure possession on this attacking scrum. And the 8th man picks up, looking for +1 with the wing. He decides to crash over. Scrummer finds that big number 20. It takes 2 gentlemen to bring him down, and it is Churchill who is their forwards to attack the blind side, and a great defending by Allan Wilson as they manage to force an error there. Churchill player being guilty of knocking on the ball. So it is a defensive scrum to Allan Wilson. First scrum reset. Walter comes in with the experience. He knows that this is a derby and he needs to intervene whenever he sees things getting heated up. And he's just having a short dialogue with the boys. He's saying, guys, I want this scrum nice and steady. So it is Churchill who managed to win possession as they use that big number 20 to crash over. He gets hold up in the tackle. So ball is being turned over. Allan Wilson doing great so far as far as their defensive duties is concerned. So far it has been nice and clean. Blood sub already. Goodness me, you can tell how this match is so physical. It is very, very physical. And already Churchill being forced to make a blood sub. Much appreciation from the touchline. So it is the number 19 for Churchill, Brawa Takunda. Or rather, that substitution has been held off a little bit. So Madake, hands-on person, just attending to his player there, that number 20. It should be now Utafara. Still is Allan Wilson with that defensive scrum. The fly half kicks the ball and it travels over the halfway line. So it's going to be the fullback. What is he going to do is he finds the flanker number 7, Mverengi Brendan. Pressure coming in from Allan, who are very, very stingy when it comes to giving Churchill, the Bulldogs, space. And it is the fly half. Chiriseri Joseph, who kicks for touch. Oh, and that ball makes a fool out of Allan Wilson, blindside winger. Great kick by the fly half, Joseph. He was searching for that 50-22 kick. So a missed throw there by Allan Wilson, and here comes the big number 20 as he runs straight. So once again, Allan Wilson get out of the jail card there, being quick on that breakdown, managing to secure the ball. So here comes the kick from the fly half, and unfortunately the wind there just working against him. I believe that was an intended direction, intended direction and distance that was intended by the fly half. Was that ball just traveled just 20 meters off the 5 meter. So they lost their first line out. This time around, they've managed to collect it using their forwards, who knocks back one, and he gets hold up in the tackle. And the ball, it looks like it has been ripped by Churchill, and they've won themselves a scrum. Great work there from the forwards. A big pack of forwards of Bulldogs. An attacking line out. It's a Norton coat sofa, like the way they had Nigel Phillip. The hooker trying to find his jumpers. And once again, that line-out take wasn't clean. And it looks like Churchill have managed to win themselves possession. Once again, they've lost that line-out, so it's going to be a scrum to Churchill. So it is an 8th-man pick as he finds a fly half and straight out he kicks. He couldn't find his touch there. It will all find the hands of that Percy winger from Allan Wilson. Oh, Scrum half was looking for a quick ball. Unfortunately, it wasn't well read there by the 8th man. And play continues. And here comes the blind side. Defends off one player. And a good chop tackle coming from Allan Wilson. Still is Churchill with possession. So we're going to go back. Come back for that offside. Cynical, clumsy play coming in from Allan Wilson. Spotted by the referee. Another great kick for touch by the number 10 for Churchill, Chiriseri Joseph. And the call is 5 men. So there's a little bit of trash talking from both teams, trying to get under each other's skin. So that was an overthrow, but however, it is the number 20 who comes away with it for Churchill now, Tafara. Joseph, a long pass to, he flies the fullback, quick hands to that pacey winger. Very slippery. Pressure on the breakdown, and once again, Allan Wilson. A quick tap. And pressure on the breakdown. What is Water going to say? He says, play on. So it's going to be a scrum to the Bulldogs. Rather to Allan Wilson. So Allan Wilson winning that breakdown battle so far. So Bulldogs, they just need to work on their body positioning as they're going to clear off the racks. But so far they've been paying the price of not cleaning low, losing possession in precious areas. So pressure coming in from the scrum, but good pair of hands coming in from Allan Wilson. And another goal. Yeah, it's going to be a try. So it is the number 14, Siabangwa Nigel, breaks the deadlock, yet Nigel Phillip, as he scores off a loose play right under the post. So it is the host team 5 points with extras to come on as Joseph. So Allan Wilson rather being guilty of overplaying themselves, especially in the 22. They were supposed just to clear out their lines. However, they wanted to play themselves out of trouble. And another handling error that costed them a try. And that could prove vital in this derby. Allan Wilson being guilty and the Bulldogs just pouncing off that mistake. This is a carbon copy of what was happening earlier on. Second team of the Sables, squandering chances, too many handling errors, and that costed them the game. And this team, the first team, they need to correct those mistakes as we see a long, goodness me, Joseph finding it hard to deal with that bouncing ball from Allan Wilson. Losing concentration once again. So it is a line out to Allan Wilson. Is that fly off, rather the scrum off, the captain finds the 22, the 50, 22 in favor. Good take by the lock of Allan Wilson. It is a +1 ball as they try to find the flanker who struggles. And the great work by the forwards of the Bulldogs. It feels like test match rugby. These guys that are playing, we haven't seen much of running. We know that Churchill, on a good day, they will outpace you. Same thing with Allan Wilson. They are very good at playing that running rugby. But today, we've seen that test match approach. And here comes the 8th man as he finds. It's a very strong boy. And once again, Jacko on the breakdown. Allan Wilson. Pressure on the breakdown. Pressure on the breakdown. And the play continues. Ooh. A fake and go, and he fakes it go and finds the blind side flanker. So offside is the call by Walter. But much appreciation from the fans, especially with that hard tackling coming in from both teams. As we see there, Allan Wilson decide to kick for touch using their fly-half. It is a successful kick right before the 22. One thing that this Allan Wilson team has been good at is that Jacko boy, especially when it comes to breakdown. But Churchill, it seems as if they are just they've managed to adapt and get points on the board. At the end of the day, you need to convert that pressure into points. So it is an attacking line out to the red-black striped team. An overthrow. Churchill comes away with it. As they look forward to use their pacey backline, spreading that ball, creating opportunities, a 2-on-1. But once again, pressure on the breakdown, but this time around, well read by Churchill. Almost intercepted there, but it is a knock-on. Churchill being lucky there. They should count themselves lucky. Scrum down to Allan Wilson. A little bit of offside there, and the referee's arm is out for offside. And there, Walter goes straight into his pocket. Yellow card, so Churchill. Tabani, the captain, being sent off. So here comes Allan Wilson. They'll look to capitalize on that extra man advantage as they keep that ball alive and attempt to go for a grabber. So it's being played quickly by Allan Wilson. Once again, Walter goes in for player not reducing, quick tap by the captain of Allan Wilson, and hence they've got extra numbers on the far side, but it is Churchill Once again, player not releasing. What are they going to do this time around? The Sables. And instructions from the technical bench is, guys, let's go for the easy 3 points. And unfortunately, he misses, squandering that opportunity to record points on the board, the Sables. So it's going to be a drop kick to the Bulldogs, who are currently leading by 7 points to 0. Chiriseri Josephs. He kicks and he finds the blind side winger for Allan, who skips, hops and jumps. He changes direction, creating a 2-1 opportunity. And a great defensive tackle coming in from Churchill. And that player gets tackled. It's out of touch. It's going to be a Churchill line out, and Walter just having a chat. With Churchill. Churchill scrum down. So we haven't seen too much of loose play today because of both teams. They are really piling pressure, especially when it comes to their defensive lines. And the team that has been impressing me so far, it is Allan. And then that clearance kick, I'm pretty sure that wasn't intended here. He rushed his kick. So we are back to where we were. You can hear Mataki from IM barking instructions to his boys. Well read there by Churchill, but however, Allan Wilson, some of them managed to regain possession as the little skips, hops and jumps, trying. So Churchill guilty once again of being offside. So quickly taken. An attempt to pick and go, but Churchill holding their lines desperately. So it is a pick and go. And Churchill is making that great effort to hold up, and it is a turnover. So Allan Wilson being their own worst enemy. The most lively group today, it has been the fans who have been providing all the entertainment. And obviously, it is the Churchill. Those teams singing their lungs out. I remember back in high school, Churchill, very good at sports as well as their fans. You would know that even if they are on your home turf, they would dominate you when it comes to supporting their team. Once again, Allan Wilson just is that goal. Unfortunately, he's short, but it is Allan Wilson. Find their forwards who look for their backs, and they are now sevens type of rugby being played as the winger cuts back inside. Unfortunately, he's short, so it is a penalty once again to Allan Wilson. They have been camping in the Churchill 5-meter line, but however, they are failing to convert that pressure into points. It is a long-arm penalty for not releasing. Surely points should be coming in for Allan Wilson. By now, they should have scored at least a try. Quick tap. Finds that back row number 4. Bundles over. Oh dear. Another error once again from Allan Wilson. And it is the number 20, the big man, being impressed. Unfortunately, he spews over the ball. And the water comes in for a high tackle. That big number 20. Great game awareness. As we see the movement from the bench. And the captain, number 12 for Churchill, Tabani. Looks like he's going to be coming on anytime soon. Coming back to the action that is on the field of play. This is Churchill, quick hands. Their forwards. An attempt to pick and go. Players being held up. Offside line. Everything that Churchill is doing, they are not rushing, taking their sweet time, thinking about their next move. A little bit of trickery. A great take and good throw by the hooker as they use that number 6. Big number 6, Nyamkonda Tadiwa. Joseph, hands, and it is try time. Churchill. Beautiful passage of play that came off a line out, a set piece move, and the ball sticking to hands. They've managed to spread the ball out wide for them to score. So Churchill increased their lead by 5 points. It is now 12 points in favor of the host team. And Joseph Chiriseri with the extras. If those extras are successful, that's going to take Churchill to 14 points to 0. Allan Wilson got an opportunity of their own earlier on. They were packed in Churchill's 5-meter for more than 10 minutes and they couldn't convert those chances. Unfortunately, Joseph's kick there is short. So the restart kick is high and it is long. Finds Tabani and Joseph kicks for touch. Right into... Unfortunately, he couldn't find his mark there. He could only find that trickery winger from Allan Wilson. A little bit of fake and go. It is a skip pass. As they find a little back inside pass, an offload. The player is being held up by that big number 5, Dewa Tafara. Unfortunately, it is a high tackle quickly taken by Allan Wilson. It is Allan Wilson who are fighting really hard. Unfortunately, the quality of support there is not in. Once again, they've won themselves a long arm penalty for a deliberate knock by Churchill. Quick tap as the scrum half looks to his right and finds that big number 8, and it takes 3 boys to bring him down. Is he going to score? Yes! Great work by the number 8 of Allan Wilson. And he leaves piles of body lying on the ground. So it is 12-5 to the Sables. He's a hard runner, that number 8 from Allan Wilson. Extras to come on. And that conversion is good. And that takes us to halftime. And ladies and gentlemen, do not touch that icon. When we come back, we're going to be giving you the second half action right here at Nigel Phillip. So we'll come back to the second half. It is the Bulldogs of Churchill who are currently leading by 12 points to 7, as they are looking forward to power more pressure to the visiting team, the Sables of Allan Wilson, who's going to emerge victorious, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see how this match pans out. Remember, you're watching All Schools Media. Like our content and subscribe to our page, as we're waiting for the match day referee, Walter. This is going to be interesting. Last 30 minutes of this encounter. Whoever wins this game is going to win bragging rights of this Harare Rugby Schools derby. Earlier on, it was the second team of Churchill who emerged victorious by thumping the visiting Allan Wilson team by 27 points to 0. And obviously the first team, the Bulldogs, will be looking to emulate what their second team have done in that restart kick. So it is a great start by Churchill, as they've won themselves a penalty inside Allan Wilson's 22, and it is going to be Joseph Chiriseri who's going to kick for touch. And it is a long kick, as he finds touch right on that 5-meter line of Allan Wilson. Lengthy mini talks happening in Churchill's camp. Obviously, they are looking forward for that sucker punch to increase their lead. It's only a 5-point game right now. As Churchill have managed to split their forwards. You can see that toe number 4, rather number 5, the lock from the Bulldogs. So that's an overthrow collected there by Kudzi. Pressure on the breakdown. Pressure, still pressure. The referee says play on, and Joseph fakes and goes, only to find, here comes the captain, who got a yellow card earlier on. Not the smartest decision there. He was isolated, and Allan Wilson, when it comes to this charcoal ball, they've been exceptional. Quickly taken by Allan Wilson. Player gets hold up once again, and however they managed to, once again, oh dear. Player being held up there by Churchill. Oh, goodness me. So it is a Churchill scrum, and they've been doing this very, very cleverly. Holding players up. Let's see how this scrum pans out. Looks like it's going to be a back rower who's going to pick up the ball, play the 10, as they are setting up themselves for a forward backline link. Joseph finds the open side winger who breaks tackles, and he scores a try. Sheer pace and power is that open side winger. Siabranda Nigel goes over the try line to take Churchill to 17 points to 7. With add-ons to come. So far, Joseph being guilty of missing one conversion. It's a little bit of a tight angle. Joseph, unfortunately, he misses his second conversion of the day. But however, it is Churchill who have stretched their lead by 10 points. Allan Wilson, they have a lot of work to do. So that number 14, Nigel, gifted with pace and power, a modern day winger, just powering through, and that restart kick goes into space, and it is Allan Wilson who are gonna win possession. Offside, clearly that was offside. Daylight offside, quickly taken, but we're going to come back for another penalty because Churchill players were not back 10. Quickly taken. Scrummer finds. Oof! As he runs hard. And Walter says no. You were supposed to release 10 meters. Churchill, they have to go back 10 meters. If he's not careful. So quickly taken. It is a 6-on-1. What are they going to do? The ball, unfortunately, equally made there by Churchill defense. Pressure on the breakdown. Still is Allan Wilson. A skip pass as they find their fullback, who is isolated. So we are going to go back for another long arm penalty. Quickly taken. Here comes it. It's try time. Allan Wilson. Attacker just bundling over the try line. Just receiving that ball at pace. That's what they were lacking earlier on, but it seems as if they've corrected that. So it is 12 points, 17 in favor of the hosts. Extras to come on. And that conversion kick, oh, unlucky. He finds the upright. So here comes a restart kick. It is high. Oh, unlucky. So that was an unnecessary. That was an unnecessary. late tackle coming from an Allan Wilson player rather. Defensive scrum for the Sables. Early shoving by the Sables. And the water is a word with them. Good pressure coming in from the big pack of Allan, rather of Churchill, but however, a fake and go. Another penalty. Churchill just lacking that discipline, especially on the breakdown. But it is Allan Wilson who spread that ball out wide. And here comes their Percy, fullback. He gets tackled, but however, Allan Wilson collects that loose ball on the field of the park. Another penalty. So Joseph is going to kick for touch, setting up his team for a line out. Whoa, deciding to use his forwards. Player is isolated, it's almost a 50-50 ball. A loose pass. Unfortunately, oh dear. Dangerous play there. We are likely to see a yellow card. All the set plays that are coming off their their scrum half rather. A little bit of dummy running. Ooh, big tackle coming in from Churchill. Another high tackle, quickly taken by the scrum half. As he finds, dear. You can tell that any moment from now, Allan Wilson can score. They've been building up pressure. Ooh, great tackle. Textbook tackle coming in from Churchill. And the player is being held up. Once again, that looks like a high tackle, but however, play continues. Is Allan Wilson. They are looking forward to play from touchline to touchline. Good cleaning from the breakdown there. Yes, cynical play. Players not going back 10. You are likely to see a yellow card any moment from now because what I believe that is his patience is running out of his patience. The Bulldogs just need to calm down. So the instruction from the technical team for Allan Wilson and his guys, let's go for those easy 3 points. So they'll take the game within 2 points in favor of the Sables. And those extra 3 points, so it takes Allan Wilson within 2 points. Churchill just need to work on their discipline. Still a lot to play out for. So play being stopped there. World Rugby protocol. If it's a head injury, you need to stop the play and attend to the player. But he looks fine. He's okay. Maybe he's a little bit tired. You can see them. He got off the ground quickly and is starting to run. And that ball is a contestable kick. Great take there from Churchill. Here comes that big hooker. He gets held up in the tackle. And that's not going anywhere. So Allan Wilson once again doing all the hard work on the defense. And that has been key of their build-up to their comeback. So it is a defensive scrum to the visiting team. As we see the fresh pair of legs being introduced by the technical bench from the visiting team, the Sables. This game is very technical. Players taking their time when it comes to set piece, thinking of what they want to do carefully. Oh, unlucky. So that ball went backwards, but still is Allan Wilson with possession. So pressure coming in from Churchill, and they've managed to turn it over. What are they going to do this time around? Is they come away there with their back row player, number 4, as they decide to go blind using their number 11. Is he going to go all the way? Unfortunately, steps on the line. Unlucky there. So it's going to be a line out. Rather, it's a long arm penalty to Allan Wilson, and obviously, rather, we are going to go back for a scrum. So it is a scrum to rather it's a 22-meter drop. So there it is. Joseph finds the impact player who finds that gentleman who scored earlier, Nigel, he goes all the way. And it is a try. The Bulldogs bite again. Scoring his second try of the day. Gifted with the power and pace. And it is hard for Allan Wilson to tackle that gentleman because he's coming in at pace. He is a pacey winger, gifted with size. And he scores. Add-ons to come on. It was a simple play by Churchill. Players just communicating the ball, just being playing through the hands. And Joseph Stiriseri makes sure that they increase their lead by 2 points. it is 24-15 in favor of the Bulldogs. So Water calls out for a timeout. So the conversion was retaken, and unfortunately Joseph misses. So it's going to be 22 points to 15 in favor of the Bulldogs. So Churchill fighting for the ball on breakdown. That caught them unaware. Here comes Jose, and he kicks into space. And here comes the fullback. He's isolated. There, straight down. It is the flanker from Churchill, number 6. Getting it right this time around. Being blown off for not releasing a couple of times, but this time around, making sure that he gets the job done. Hard work pays off. And there he comes again, carrying the ball. And it looks like he's going to win himself a penalty. Tadiwa. And here comes that creative hands by Churchill. And here comes the captain, getting into contact. And then once again, the captain being guilty there of cynical play. And it is a turnover to Allan Wilson. Quickly taken. Player being isolated. Once quickly taken by Allan Wilson. Oh, great fending off by that Allan Wilson player. Play continues as that captain number 9 for Allan Wilson moves on to fly off. So it's going to be a penalty. Churchill here comes Allan Wilson. Long passes. Forward pass. Churchill get out of the jail card there. But it looks like their player is injured. So play resumes. Churchill, they've won themselves that scrum, and they come away with that open side flanker. And once again, the referee says it's a knock-on. It's going to be an Allan Wilson scrum. Good pressure coming in from Churchill, but however, Allan Wilson managed. Oh, the ball is being spilled over. And here comes Jose. He puts the boot to ball, and the chest is on. Allan Wilson's player, unlucky. It's going to be a 5-meter drop kick. Is it going to be a try? It is a try. So Churchill have increased their lead by 27 points to 15. It was ugly, but however, Churchill managed to capitalize and score a try with extras to come on. So Joseph manages to take it to 29 points to 15. It looks like the match is racing away from the Allan Wilson Sables. Player is down for Allan Wilson, rather for Churchill. Looks like they are going to force to make an injury substitution. So it is the scrum half who is going to come off. And Allan Wilson on the spot. Some space, and unfortunately the player is being headed out, and it is the Churchill scrum. Great work from the forwards. Forwards of Churchill being physical, and it seems as if they mastered how to hold up a player, and they are not giving any room. So here comes the substitution, player number 21, who came in for Chatai Katafadzwa. Takawarasha David. So it is a big shaft coming in from the forwards of Churchill, and they use their back row to play their fly half. And here comes the try scorer as he runs into space, being stopped by the shortest man on the field of play. Here comes David Takawarasha as he finds Kudzi, and lucky there, he took the ball. It is a big scrum. Oh, unlucky there. And the ball is being collected by open side flanker for Churchill. It's a 2-on-1. Oh, that was cynical play. So it's going to be a long arm penalty to the host. And Joseph takes it quickly. He gets into contact and once again being isolated. He gets held up. But however, Churchill being lucky there. Ooh, David Takarasha, great game awareness there. Churchill slowing down the play. Being driven back by Allan Wilson players. So it's going to be a scrum in favor of Allan Wilson. Defensive scrum for the visiting team, but time is really running out for them if they are thinking of winning this match. But however, they've managed to win a ball. Good pair of hands being shown by the Allan Wilson backline player. And here comes their number 8, the hard-running number 8. Here comes Allan Wilson. A little bit of footstep, and the ball gets ripped away from him. And it is Allan Wilson, rather Churchill. The ball being kept alive. And here comes Allan Wilson. Unfortunately, it is a knock-on. Another scrum down for the Bulldogs. So it is a scrum down. It looks like it's going to be a set piece play. 8th man pick. He tries to go blind. He changes direction. He goes into contact. Quick ball from David Takawarasha. Quick hands. So Allan Wilson there being guilty of offside. So they're going to go for the easy 3 points, just straight their lead to 32 points to 15 if they get these extras on. So Joseph, Bulldogs playmaker, doing his fly-off shows there. So it is 32 points to 15 in favor of Bulldog, putting the final nail on the coffin. I don't see the visiting team coming back. So any moment from now, Wale. Great take there from Churchill. Ball is being played. Quick hands. Taken quickly by Allan Wilson. So this is last play. No matter what happens, the Bulldogs have won this game. Well read there by the Churchill forwards. So Joseph kicks it out, and there goes the buzzer. And it is the Churchill Bulldogs who've managed to get the better of the visiting team by 32 points to 15. Ladies and gentlemen, remember you're watching All Schools Media. Congratulations to both teams. Unfortunately, there had to be one winner, and this time around, it is the Churchill Bulldogs who have managed to defend their fortress. Congratulations to the coaches. Congratulations. And at the end of the day, all that tension will die down, because this is what we love about rugby. The camaraderie. You can see the handshakes, the hugs. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a wrap right here at Nigel Phillip.
Hello, girls. Excuse me.
Shut on!
What's the profession? And zoom. What's the profession? Ho, ho, ho.
I'm